Microsoft Innovation Center Nepal presents an educational segment, E for Entrepreneurship. Today, we will talk about how investment for a startup works. Apart from having a great idea and a promising market, gathering the right funds at the right moment will have a game changing effect on the success of the startup. The initial funding for a company comes from you, the founder. The moment you start working, you start creating value. You own the 100% of it now, and you are the only person in the unregistered company. As you progress, you will add in few people to better formulate the idea. The co-founders will work together with whatever small capital they have and create a solid business plan. The next round of seed funding can come from your family and friends. Even if your family and friends are not as rich as an investor, you can still accept their cash and start small. After this, you can get a seed fund from an angel investor or from any crowdfunding platforms. An angel investor, sometimes known as an informal investor, is an affluent individual who provides capital for a startup, usually in exchange of convertible debt or ownership equity. Crowdfunding, on the other hand, is the practice of funding a project or a venture by raising monetary contribution from a large number of people, often performed via internet-mediated registries, but the concept can also be executed through email benefit events and other methods. With a good amount of funds secured, the company will need a next round of investment only when the company is ready to scale up. Till this time arrives, the startup has to prove its worth and attract venture capitals. Venture capital is a form of financing that is provided to small early-stage startups that are considered to have high growth potential or which have demonstrated high growth in terms of number of employees, annual revenue, or both. If your company can showcase a promising future with your first version of the solution and you have the traction with users, venture capitalists will then invest in your company. The VC will invest in your company in exchange of equity, an ownership stake in the company they invest in. The investment in this round can range from a couple of $100,000 to a few $1,000,000. In about 3 years of time, you may be eligible for a second round of VC funding. Looking at your performance, the VC can decide how much they want to invest in your company. By this time, you will know if your company will move forward or close down. In the growth period, you will have a steady income and start making good revenue out of your business. Thus, will not require any fund to sustain. If you still perform well, you will now move on to the next phase, IPO or sale. Initial public offering or IPO is the first sale of stocks by a company to a public, while sales of a company refers to a company being acquired by other companies for a hefty sum of money. At this time, your startup is about 5 to 10 years old. By now, you have either made it or folded it. Now, your investors are ready for the payday when your company goes public or you sell your company. If you start planning your company's finances with keeping all these stages in mind, you will have an easier time transitioning from one stage to another. We hope this session will help you start your venture. This is brought to you by Microsoft Innovation Center Nepal.